Hello and welcome to Ladies Talking Business. I'm your host, Moremi Akano. On today's episode, we will be discussing an interesting topic, retaining your femininity as a businesswoman. Discussing this with me today is a seasoned etiquette consultant, human capital developer, and author. She is a certified international etiquette consultant. She is the CEO of the Etiquette Avenue. She consults with corporate organizations and offers specialized training programs. And she also teaches children at various levels and creates bespoke training sessions for individuals and groups on a variety of etiquette topics. A graduate of estate management from the University of Lagos, she received her etiquette training at Minding Manners International in London. She is a very passionate advocate of the power of etiquette and how it can be harnessed to improve the lives of individuals and ultimately transform a nation. She believes if you must do anything to make a difference in the lives of people, you must do it properly. She is Amanda Amusan. Delighted to have you on Ladies Talking Business today, Amanda.
Thank you for having me, Moremi.
And I'm looking forward to our etiquette talk today.
Same here.
Okay, so in simple terms, can you explain femininity?
Okay, I'll try and be simple.
Oh, please be simple.
I'll give you a proper definition first. So femininity, you can define that as the attributes or qualities that are regarded as characteristic of women.
Okay.
If I was going to put it in my own terms, in my own words, I would say femininity is the essence of a woman. Everything that makes up her composition. When you look at her attributes, you're talking about her sensitivity, her ability to be emotive. A woman is a nurturer. She's a multitasker. She's warm. She's graceful. I can go on and on. But when you talk about a woman, I just think there's just something about us that lights up a room. So in simple terms, that's the essence of a woman.
So what makes a woman a woman? So those attributes that make
Yes.
her a woman.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about running a business as a
Okay.
woman. Why is it important for women to retain their femininity while running a business? I know you have a lot to say here, so let's talk about it.
Okay. First of all, women are wired very differently to men.
Okay.
And when you look at the composition of a woman and some of the attributes that she possesses, you would find out that there needs to be a balance. So when you don't have the touch of a woman in business, when you don't have the touch of a woman, there's a vacancy, there's a gap, there's a void, and it's almost like it's not complete. So yes, we have men in business, but we need to bring a woman's touch to whatever it is they do. So we've looked at the attributes of a woman. There's a time where you need a woman to be sensitive when it comes to making business decisions. There's a time when you need a woman's empathetic side, So these things come to play. And I think what I notice is many times women feel that the attributes they have are not valuable. So what tends to happen is we abandon our values and we try and take up values that we can attribute to men. So you hear things like, oh, stay in your lane. This is a man's world, that kind of thing. But the thing is, we need to begin to recognize as women the value that our attributes have and possess. So we know we bring something to the table.
Yeah, we bring the whole table.
Exactly. So if we don't take up our place, there's always going to be a void there. And I think what happens also with the woman, we don't recognize that value that we have.
But sorry to cut you short,
No,
but
that's okay.
I've heard people say, or people think, because women are emotional, they won't run a business properly.
We need to be emotional. You can't rule out who a woman is. I mean, it's just like, let me use this example. We were designed that way for a reason. So which is why you wonder when there's so much competition with women. You know, we think we're not very nice to each other. We're like, oh, it's a woman. Oh, no, women are not nice. But it's if every woman recognizes that every other woman out there has the same abilities as you do, we won't have that competition. It's just the question is, are we using those abilities? Are we maximizing them? Are we activating them? We're not. So we think because it's a man's world and we feel the men do not pay tribute to what the woman can actually do. They don't ascribe value to what the woman does. So it seems we too have abandoned it. So we now want to adopt the roles that men play.
So we want to be...
Yes, we want to be the decision makers. We want to be the protectors.
Aggressive.
And we want to be a little bit aggressive. But no, we can win as women, who we are. We were designed that way. You know, so simply put, yes.
Well, I'm just... Even from the way you speak, I can tell that it's something you're passionate about. You're calm about it, but I can tell that there's passion somewhere in there talking about it. So, how would you say, or what's the best way for a woman to handle situations where she's surrounded by male counterparts, and it probably doesn't happen every time, and they just basically want to shut her down or shut her up. How do you handle such situations?
She needs to maintain her composure. Like I say, you can't take away who a woman is. It's innate. It's how you work. It's just like you came into this world one day and you just realized, this is who I am. I'm a woman. And God put certain emotions in you. You know, you need to be warm. You need to be gentle. You're a nurturer. You can't change that overnight, no matter how hard you try. So it's who we are. So the thing is, I would only advocate just fill in that role.
Okay.
We don't need to compete with the men. We need to let the men know that we are good all by ourselves. We carry value and we are bringing something to the table. Like I say, you need the woman's touch with everything you do, any line of business, any line of work, whether if you're in an organization, from the tea lady to the PA, to a lady who is a director in a company, it makes the world of difference. As long as we're activating those skills and those attributes that we have and we're applying them. We should stop leaving them dormant. They're very powerful.
We should stop leaving them dormant.
Yes, which is what many of us do as women, and we're taking up the roles that men occupy. We want their attributes because that's what the world tells us, that it's a man's world. So what makes a man function? You look at his attributes, so you see the woman a little bit more aggressive. I know not all women out there would agree with me, but we're a little bit more aggressive, we're pushing the envelope. No, let us be women. Yes.
Amanda, we'll speak more about this shortly.
Okay.
Please stay with us for more of this conversation after the break. Thanks for staying with us. I'm still here with Amanda Amusan, an etiquette consultant, human capital developer, and author. I didn't want to interrupt you earlier when we were talking about it, but let's talk about the role culture plays in all of this. I believe culture, especially in the African setting, has its influence on how women behave generally, let alone at the workplace or running a business. So let's talk about the role culture plays, what culture basically has given we women.
It depends on what culture you're talking about. And one thing I would tell you is culture greatly influences etiquette. And another thing about etiquette is it evolves over time. So when you try and put culture and etiquette side by side, you realize that even what our parents did or their parents before them did, it's 2022. Things are definitely going to be different. So how in the past maybe it would have been proper to write a letter, or a thank you letter, it was proper, you use the ink and the pen, nice cursive writing. Today, it might also be proper for you to send, a text message as long as your sentences are constructed properly. So things evolve, things change. Now, culture and women, we can't live in the past. We
Okay.
can't. And like I say, things evolve. So society has to give women the place that they have earned and they deserve. We can't live in the ages. So whereas in the past it was traditional for a woman to be at home and look after the family, the home front, ensure the children are well and her husband eats well and she's looking after, the home, that was her job. The man went out, to work, earn money and bring home. Typically that was a cultural setting at that time, but now it's different. More doors are opening for women. Women are being educated. Women are pushing the boundaries further. So what are they going to do with everything that they have achieved?
But there are men who still feel a woman shouldn't be working or be in a place of authority. There are men who feel women shouldn't even have education.
Unfortunately, we're always going to have people who
like
think like that in society. There's really nothing we can do about it. And there are people who are, you would find out, what I've noticed is even amongst the young folk, you see young couples, when you listen to their beliefs, their values, and you're wondering, you sound like someone from 40 years ago or 30 years ago, and when you're so young. Values, they hold on to these things, pretty closely. But I think that we've come of age. Give women a chance. There's nothing you can do about the mindset that people have that women should be in the kitchen or should be at the home front. No. Look at them as your equal partner. They're there to support you. They're there to help you. And like I say, I go back. A woman's touch. I'm going to be saying that quite often.
A woman's touch. I know I'm going to be hearing that a lot.
Yes, a woman's touch. We make all the difference. So,
but just to summarize what you've just said, I believe that it's also the duty of the men to just let women be who they are meant to be.
I agree with you, and I think before we take the fight out there as women, I think amongst ourselves we need to have these conversations quite often to realize that what we carry is actually powerful. And if we can agree and have a loud enough voice, we can actually take it to the men. It's because they don't see us for who we are. They just don't think we're that powerful. And when I say powerful, I'm not talking about operating, in a man's world or doing what he can do. Whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. We've gone beyond that. It's honestly, I think it's more of as they are, with the attributes that they have, and in the times that we live in, the skill sets they've been able to, acquire, they're formidable.
I agree.
Let's give them that credit and work with them. Don't try and tell or make the woman feel that she's not like you. She wasn't created to be like you. Yeah, so recognize her power and what she brings to the table, and all would be well.
So moving on, how can women maintain a family life balance while thriving in business?
Good question. I think foremost, a woman has to look at her well-being.
Okay.
Like you said, in times past, our parents had the responsibility of, or mothers actually, a woman, being at home, looking after the family, the home front. But today things have changed. Women are out first thing in the morning, dropping their kids off at school, and they're hitting their offices. They're starting their day, 8 a.m., and a woman has to be balanced. Her well-being has to be taken care of. It's just going to juggle all of these things. So her mental state, she has to be healthy in her mind and her emotions and physically. And when you look at physically, of course, many women are very conscious about how they look now. So you're talking about diet, you're talking about exercise. You need the balance. Yes, you need the balance. And emotionally, when it comes, you have to be happy. You have to do the things that make you happy. I'm listening to more women now who are saying, it's going to be about me this year. Nice. I'm going to do things. So you meet up with your friends every now and then, you have a drink, with them, or you have a lunch date, or you go to the spa together, things that generally make you happy, and could put your mental, state at rest.
Actually, I was going to ask how women can deal with emotional stress, but I think you've just touched on that.
Yes, go to the spa and do all of those things. So your physical state, your mental state has to be on top for you to be able to juggle both the home front, family, as well as business. Okay. That's number one. What else would I say? A woman must be balancing family life. She must be able to manage her time well. She must be a good timekeeper, because a woman is juggling so many balls. The other day, I wrote down a long list about a woman, we women being superwoman. And I think I came up with about 22 things on the list. Wow. That women juggle, from being the doctor in the house to being the one.
I wish you had that list here. We'd have reviewed it together.
The doctor in the house to she's the one who sews everything that, has a hole in it, who mends everything. She's the one who takes the children on parties. She's the chaperone. She's the chief cook and bottle washer. She does everything. She's the one who she does so many things. So she has to be able to manage her time. And when it comes to running a business, you decide, if you leave your home around 8, you dash out, you give yourself, okay, I'm going to work 8 hours every day. So if I start work at 8, so that means by what time? By 4, I should be done. By 4 o'clock, you should be done. I don't think work ever ends, but don't bring it home. Because as a woman, when you get home, there's more work to be done, but a different kind of work. So you have family. So if you're married, you need to give some time to your husband. If you have children, you need to give some time to your children. If you have domestic staff, you need to get an update. What happened in my home today while I was out working? You need to give a portion, a little time to everyone that is in your space and makes up your life.
Amazing. Yes. I think you've just really summed it all up. I like that bit about not bringing work home.
Oh yes, we have to try. It's hard, but we have to try.
Okay, we'll talk more about this shortly. We will take a break now and be back for more etiquette conversation shortly. I'm still here with Amanda Amusan, CEO of the Etiquette Avenue. Amanda, it's been an interesting conversation so far, the whole etiquette talk. Why do you think it's important for businesses to have women in top positions? I know we've talked about why you should have them in business, but why should you have them in top positions?
At the top is where all the decisions are made.
Okay.
So the next question is, how do those decisions favor you? I'm not even talking about favoring you as a woman, but favoring you as a business person. We have to stop. We're in business. Okay. Forget the fact that I'm a woman. No one goes into business without wanting to make profit. So whenever decisions are being made, you want them to favor you. You're in business to make profits. You're in business, you want to grow your business to another level. So at the top is where decisions, are being made, and you want to have a say. So women, it's pretty simple. We need to have a say. We need to be at the top there. We need to be sitting at the table where it's like, do we take this project on? Or who do we go with? It's like, no, let's go with this person. I'm like, and when looking at the attributes of women, when you say things like, maybe the MD says, or a fellow senior person in the office says, no, they submitted their proposal late, so we're not going to go with them, da. But it's like, look, the other company bid it as well, and they're equally, they're at par and everything. But I know they submitted theirs late, but I have that feeling. She can't explain it, and the guy's probably getting irritated, feeling, really? Now, that's part of what we bring. It's the intuition. It's just that, there's just something about them that will go, you better listen to her. So again, like I say, it's that woman's touch. There are certain things that the man is not wired to sense that the women are. So it just goes without saying. We just need to ascribe more value to what is already. So we need to be at the top right there with whoever's making the decisions. So if there are 20 women there, let's join them. If you have four men up there, it's okay. The more the merrier. Let's join them as well.
I agree. So how do you feel about, over the last, I think, year or two, we've had more female MDs in top banks, top positions. How does that make you feel?
it makes me feel good. And I'm pleased, I'm happy because I think our voices are being heard and something is being done about it. And honestly, when we say it's a man's world, if the men out there, the decision makers, who I guess are majority, men, if they're, I think they're beginning to recognize that there's something women are so accomplished. When you think women, and the thing is, they're improving on themselves while still running the home front, doing all these things. So someone has to stop and look. As in, are these women real? Are these human beings real? We're doing so much, So I'm really pleased that it's beginning to happen, and it would encourage more women to step up, and encourage the younger ones coming up to say, yes, there's a place for me, I can do it. But like I say, I would rather the focus be on letting women know how valuable the assets they have are before they go out there to compete. So they're going out there with the confidence that they should have.
Thank you, Amanda. But before I let you go, in your opinion, what are the do's and don'ts for women in business?
Okay.
Let's do the do's first.
The do's first. Yeah. Okay, I'll be quick. Do's. First of all, a woman should be well-mannered. Okay. She should be graceful. And she should be composed at all times. It doesn't matter the line of work you're in. Okay. So some people might say, but she's an engineer, which sounds masculine or so. But imagine an engineer attending a meeting, nicely dressed up, graceful, carrying herself very well. I'm going to give her another look. I'm going to draw the chair out for her, even as another woman to say, take a seat at the table. There's just something about a woman being graceful, well-mannered, and it's all the way, So that's the first thing I would say. She must be well-mannered, graceful, and composed.
Okay.
Number 2, I think a woman the do's, she must improve herself.
Okay.
Look for the people in your field that share the same craft, learn from them, and be better. That's the only way you can remain relevant and stay competitive. Yes. Let me see. What are the number 3? I think women in do's. As a woman, we make many mistakes. We've made mistakes in the past, and we've not had people to guide us. When we have telephone calls, some in the past, well, I know it still happens. There's a tendency it can happen, but we need to ensure that everything we do in line of business is in writing. So you have a telephone conversation with someone. It sounds interesting. Let's do this. Let's go for it. Everything, but a telephone conversation can be forgotten in a hurry. So as women in business, those are the things that maybe the men might think we overlook. Make sure every conversation you have, every business deal you're about to go into, everything is written. And let me just quickly add this. She should maintain a strong network. And when I say network, I think some people might just think, it's all about, the people at the top, my network of friends and everything. Yes, it's okay. But also at the lower levels, because a strong network is a strong network. We all need each other. So I always say things, I can abound, and I could go high and I can go low. I can relate with the tanker driver that delivers water in my home, and I think I can very much sit with the queen the next day.
You can.
So that's what I honestly feel. We should have a strong network, but it should be a network of people at all levels, because you never really know who you need tomorrow.
True.
So I'll leave that with my do's. So.
Okay, so don'ts now.
Don'ts. Okay. I think women should never let their emotions run away with them. It's one of the reasons why I think, when men look at, no, she's too, you said it, she's too emotional, or no, I don't know, she's too, no. We are aware of who we are, but let's fine-tune that attribute and work it.
Fine-tune.
Yes, we need to fine-tune. So you know, yes, because I could sit down and cry about something the whole day, and I could also be emotional and get something done and sign that $1 million contract.
Right.
Yes. So,
okay. Do you have one more don't for us?
Let me see. One more don't. Let me leave it there
because
of time.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Amanda.
Thank you very much.
Wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure you'll agree that it has been an enlightening etiquette episode of Ladies Talking Business today. Many thanks for watching, and do join us this same time next week for another episode. Don't forget to follow us on PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle on YouTube to catch up with our programs. I am Moremi Akano. Bye for now.